Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to tell you a story that isn't about becoming better than others, but about becoming stronger than the person you were yesterday. This is a story about mastering yourself, because the hardest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, not against circumstances, not even against other people. It is against your own mind. There was once a young man named Aaron. He lived an ordinary life in an ordinary town. Nothing about him looked special from the outside. He woke up every morning feeling tired, even after a full night of sleep. He dreamed of success, happiness, peace, and confidence, but his days were filled with distractions, doubts, and excuses. Aaron always told himself, "One day I will change," but one day never came. Every morning, Aaron would set an alarm to wake up early. Every morning, he would hit the snooze button. He promised himself he would read books, learn new skills, and work on his goals, but somehow his phone always ended up in his hand. Hours passed scrolling through other people's lives, while his own life stood still. At night, guilt would visit him quietly. He would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything he should have done. Aaron believed his problem was lack of time. He believed his problem was bad luck. Sometimes he believed his problem was other people holding him back. But deep inside, there was a voice he tried very hard to ignore. A voice that whispered, "You are not disciplined." One evening, after another unproductive day, Aaron went for a walk. His mind was heavy. He felt like he was running in circles, repeating the same mistakes, living the same days again and again. As he walked, he noticed an old man sitting alone on a bench in the park. The man looked calm, peaceful, as if the world around him had slowed down. Aaron sat on the other end of the bench, not intending to speak. But the old man looked at him and smiled. "You look tired," the man said. Aaron laughed softly. "I am tired," he replied. "But not in my body. In my mind." The old man nodded. "That is the most exhausting kind of tired." Something about the man's voice felt different. Aaron found himself opening up. He talked about his dreams, his failures, his lack of focus, his fear of wasting his life. He talked and talked, as if years of frustration were finally pouring out. The old man listened patiently. When Aaron finished, the man asked a simple question. "Who is in control of your life?" Aaron replied without thinking. "My situation. My responsibilities. My past mistakes." The old man smiled gently. "No," he said. "Those are excuses. The truth is harder. The truth is you are in control, but you have never learned how to control yourself." Aaron felt uncomfortable. The words stung, because they felt true. Mastering yourself, the old man continued, is the greatest power you can ever have. Without it, talent is useless. Dreams are empty. Time is wasted. Aaron asked, "How do I master myself?" The old man looked at him and said, "First, you must stop lying to yourself." That night, Aaron could not sleep. The old man's words echoed in his mind. Stop lying to yourself. Aaron realized how often he made excuses. How often he promised change without action. How often he blamed circumstances instead of his habits. The next morning, something changed. Not everything. Not instantly. But something small and important. When the alarm rang, Aaron felt the urge to hit snooze. His hand moved toward the phone, then stopped. He remembered the old man's words. He remembered that mastering himself began with honesty. He stood up. It was uncomfortable. His body resisted. His mind complained. But for the first time in a long while, Aaron did not obey his excuses. That day, Aaron decided to start small. Not perfect. Just consistent. He spent 10 minutes reading instead of scrolling. 10 minutes working on a skill he had been avoiding. It didn't feel heroic. It didn't feel dramatic. But it felt real. As days passed, Aaron noticed something strange. The world did not change, but he did. His confidence did not come from motivation videos or inspiring quotes. It came from keeping promises to himself. Every small win made his mind stronger. But mastering yourself is never a straight road. One day, Aaron failed. He overslept. He wasted time. He felt the old guilt return. For a moment, he thought, see, nothing has changed. Then he remembered another lesson from the old man. Failure is not the opposite of mastery. Quitting is. Instead of giving up, Aaron reflected. He asked himself why he failed. He adjusted his routine. He forgave himself, but he did not excuse himself. This was new. Before, failure meant stopping. Now, failure became feedback. Weeks turned into months. Aaron's habits slowly reshaped his life. He learned that discipline was not punishment. It was self-respect. Waking up early was not about suffering. It was about choosing his future over comfort. He also learned about his mind. He learned that his thoughts were not commands. They were suggestions. Just because his mind said, stay comfortable, didn't mean he had to listen. Just because his mind said, you are not good enough, didn't mean it was true. One evening, Aaron returned to the park, hoping to see the old man again. He wanted to thank him. But Aaron realized something powerful. The lessons were no longer outside of him. They were part of him. Aaron understood that mastering yourself does not mean controlling everything. It means controlling your response. You cannot control the past, but you can control what you learn from it. You cannot control others, but you can control your boundaries. You cannot control every emotion, but you can control your actions. Over time, Aaron's life began to reflect his inner discipline. Opportunities appeared, not because of luck, but because he was prepared. People trusted him more, not because he spoke loudly, but because his actions were consistent. He still had fears. He still had doubts. But they no longer ruled him. He learned to sit with discomfort, to delay gratification, to choose growth over ease. This was mastery. One day, Aaron stood in front of a mirror and realized he no longer recognized the person he used to be. Not because he became someone else, but because he finally became himself. And here is the truth for you listening right now. This story is not just about Aaron. It is about you. Mastering yourself does not start with changing your whole life overnight. It starts with one honest decision. One small habit. One promise kept. You don't need more motivation. You need more control over your attention, your time, and your choices. You need to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start using the moment you have. Your mind will resist. It always does. But remember this. The mind is a powerful servant and a dangerous master. When you learn to lead it, your life changes. Master yourself, and you will no longer be controlled by fear. Master yourself, and discipline will become your freedom. Master yourself, and success will stop being a dream and start becoming a direction. This is not an easy path, but it is a simple one. Choose yourself. Every single day. Even when it is hard. Especially when it is hard. Because the moment you master yourself, you master your life.